Hello, welcome to the channel. This is Custom Creator. I'm Danny Lee, OGT. That is OGL Schmidt, my channel manager. And he has been a metal guy and was only aware of the new country sucky music and didn't know about the real country, the country singers that toured with the rock and roll singers. And I have a new saying that I just got yesterday. New country sells you a story, old country tells you a story. And
I like that.
Never know. Because that's truth without being mean. Because I want to be. But at least you didn't induct Hank Williams Jr. into the Hall of Fame 2 years ago.
Better late than never, I suppose.
Yeah. Thank you, Grand Old. I breathe that never invited him. Oh, I'm talking about the awards. Yeah, Hall of Fame. Sorry. Got them mixed up. All right. So, OGL, as I said, he has heard the one I really think is the most powerful, with Coward the County. We may put that in our members only. $4.99 American dollars. Like and subscribe. I never do that shit. Sorry. But really, we do have where you can join the channel and perks.
There's some very cool perks involved.
Yeah, I suck at advertising.
Content continues to grow, and hey, your dollars hopefully will help us buy better equipment. So that's wins all the way around.
Thank you. I sorry guys. I suck at asking for money for something I love to do, but it is hard. It does cost money. We just paid taxes on our tax ID. What the hell? What the hell? Mm-hmm. You're the tax place. How you gonna charge me tax? All right.
Yeah, the money will not go to fund our crack habits. It will go to fund the channel.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
Buddy, I'm familiar with Kenny Rogers. Of course, I've heard of him. I think I first heard him on We Are the World, where he's part of like 8 million other singers. He's had a long, colorful, illustrious career. This is a song I've heard of, and I think maybe you've played it to me a couple of times. I was way back in the old jamming on Discord days. So
I don't think I would play this one.
Give me a little bit of context so I can dive into it, brother.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you've heard the chorus. That's all the context I can give you because I want you to interpret it for yourself. So you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. That's it. That's the chorus. Sure you've heard that. I think everybody in the world has. If you haven't, sorry. I just assumed you had. But it's about playing cards. Or anyway, I'm gonna shut up, get out of the way. I'll still be here, but you won't see me no more.
Oh, good. Be with me in spirit. I appreciate that.
OGL, you were up there. I'm going to. Whoa. Look, guys. It's magic. I'm going to have to move him over a little cosmetic surgery, OGL. All right. Gotta get the play button. All right, I'm going to hit play and be on you, bud. Kenny Rogers.
Do it, sir.
One of the best storytellers in the game.
On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns of staring out the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces and knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind my saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice. So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.
All right, you read my mind. Just gonna pause after that first chorus. Okay, so really loved the acoustic guitar melody there. It sounded like it was finger picked. Very, very pretty. The minute Kenny's voice comes in, it just has this lived in quality about it. I think we discussed this before when we were talking about old versus new. The new stuff sounds like people who they're singing songs that were written by someone else, written by committee. They had them sitting in the studio and like, okay, I like that one. These are songs that are just about life. Kenny's voice
OGL.
is not one that, yes.
Matt, I would just like to say that I do think the artists are limited in what they can sing about. So I don't fully place the blame on the artist. I place the blame on the industry, which don't allow them to express themselves. Oliver Anthony is a Sturgill Simpson are great examples of this. So I just want to put that in there.
I do understand it. It's the state of the industry more than it is the state of the artists themselves. Where was I going with this? Basically, Kenny is not trying to impress anyone or any judges on American Idol, anything like that. He is narrating his story, and it sounds like something that happened to him on Tuesday. It's nothing extravagant or outlandish about it. It feels relatable. I've never played cards, so I understand essentially what he's talking about. I also understand sort of the metaphors for life that have been used with cards. I like the idea of being with someone who has more experience in life than you and sort of sitting under their learning tree. I've always enjoyed doing that, so I like that aspect of the song as well. And I have heard that chorus before. It is catchy as hell. Going to continue now.
Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, and the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. And when he finished speaking, he turned back toward the window, crushed out a cigarette, faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You got to know when to hold 'em, when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough to count when the deal is done.
That's describing my ass.
I
Hold on,
forgot
let
to
me get.
mention after the first course, there's some really interesting percussion sounds in there as well that kind of caught me off guard. The harmonies at the end were super cool. Um, almost. I'm trying to think where I've heard something similar. I don't. Tribal is the word that keeps coming to my mind, but it's like how the music dropped out. There was a beat, then the harmonies came in.
I'll tell you what it reminds me of.
Was that
Church, singing in church.
that too? Yeah.
Except it had a real message. I'm
I
sorry.
love how. No. I understand. But I love how the song is uh,
There's no agenda in
basically three
this.
and a half minutes long. Not a wasted note in it. I love again. I love the storytelling. Just like Danny said, this is what it used to be about. It's all about telling a story. Uh, Essentially, it's I'm generalizing, but it's just about making smart decisions, knowing what to do and when to do it. Um, Again, I love the idea of gleaning that wisdom from someone that's been around before. Um, okay, so while you're here, Danny, I'm going to ask you. It almost felt sort of took a supernatural bent at the end, where he said like somewhere out in the darkness the gambler broke even. That almost made it sound like he was talking to a ghost or something.
Well, I'll tell you
Am
what
I
that is.
reaching there?
That's what David Allen Coe talks about in the ride. Boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? Because I've heard that song a million times. It still rolled up in my throat and gave me this almost want to cry feeling, but it's a happy feeling. That's what country music does, real country music. And Kenny Rogers was different than the rest of them because all the rest of them, George Jones, Punch Wayne Jennings, and Hank Jr. shot through roofs and stuff. And um, Kenny Rogers was squeaky clean, but yet told you like it was. And
Yeah,
he was an outlaw that didn't do. He was a good guy. He was a good guy.
yeah, kind of a
He was a good
classy
guy that
outlaw,
you
if
want
you
to
will.
cheer for. He was John Farnham
Right.
for the Aussies.
I said the country John Farnham, but
I mean, he sang
yeah,
with Dolly Parton back in the day. He's one of the pioneers of country music. And
yeah,
amazing man. Rest in peace, Kenny Rogers. And this I'm doing for a reason, guys. There and gals, there's a lot of well, there's a few channels that react to country, and they don't really. There's a division there, and it hurts me when someone calls Reba McEntire promotes prostitution and for fancy, and that Conway Twitty was a pervert, and you know, oh my, I'm editing in my car. Well, it might be in my speaker. Hell, I don't know. Loretta Lynn made a song about birth control. Damn it, mighty. Made a song about birth control. She was demonized for it. Birth control. Anyway, I love country. I was raised on country. Country music made me who I am today. That's why I can see that it's plainly different now. So, anyway, let's get back to it. God, it just, one, Lord have mercy. Song about birth control. Uh, Barbara, no, not Barbara and Joe. Anyway, I'm not going to try to remember it right now, but you've heard me mention this song so many times because when I give references, OGL, I always say, be like Kenny Rogers. If you got a pair of deuces, bluff. If you got a full house, run with it. I always use that analogy a lot because there is so many haters on the old country and it's labeled outlaw. But you got Kenny Rogers here giving you a great message and makes you feel what you feel inside. What you feel in a church is why I said that when the hair stand up on your arms and you feel divinely inspired.
I think the thing that I've enjoyed about Danny's essentially Danny is being the gambler for me here. He's picking me under his learning tree as far as the old school country goes. I've always liked music that tells stories, and I love how these old school country uh, legends. They they were just badass dudes that didn't give a shit, and they were singing about their lives. And sometimes they may have some stories may have sounded a bit ridiculous. Was it the Uneasy Rider? Was that the Charlie Daniels song that you played for me? Like that. On one hand, it's like, oh, that's crazy. That couldn't have happened. But on the other hand, like if you knew these guys like that, I firmly believe that there's not a doubt in my mind that that actually happened to that man because they
And
just
a
yeah,
sad but beautiful story is Layla Jennings and Hank Williams Sr. and they all cheated on their wives and told them about it. And
mm,
Johnny Cash and their wives stuck to him to the very day. Johnny and his wife June pretty much left this world together within 2 months.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they got together cheating. So how could she be a hypocrite and get mad? She had a right to. I'm not saying
Right.
cheat on your woman. I'm saying they told it like it was. And they didn't sugarcoat nothing. They didn't sell you a turd that looks like a donut. And, you know, their
I don't
songs are
recall them ever
timeless.
saying, this is what I did. You should do this exact same thing. What they did was they
No,
sang about their lives. They sang about life. And I'm sorry, people, but there's a lot of aspects in life that may not sit well with you, that may offend you, and that's just life.
but
These
you've all
guys
been
stood
to
in the
them
middle of it. These
in
guys stood in
some
the
way or
middle of
another.
it, said, okay, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is how I live. And if you're cool with that, whatever. If you're not, get the fuck out.
And so
I got more life to live.
I do not, I'm not doing this because there's some older videos where you see it get really, really bad with the industry, the newer country. But it's happening everywhere. I mean, Big and Rich, I never even listened to him, but he's making all kinds of so they're calling it woke. I don't know. I don't put labels on it. It was bad way before whatever woke is. I know what woke is to me. It's opening your clarity and seeing through the bullshit of the world, or your third eye, whatever you want to call it. I got it on my arm. So I was raised on country music though. Hank Williams Jr. was my first love. Before Tool, before Pearl Jam, before Zeppelin, before Floyd. And riding with my mom, I'm listening to Earl Thomas Conley singing. Um, the hardest thing I've ever had to do was telling her about you. And she ain't done one thing wrong, but he's leaving her anyway. And, you know, I kind of understood that as a child. And I listened to Conway talk about whispering pretty love words and his woman's ear and laying her down. And I didn't know what sex was, but I knew that's what the hell he's talking about, but it didn't warp me and it wasn't perverted. Now, she's a rocket chick now, but I would use the reference if Carrie Underwood's legs don't bother you on putting out politicals, they bother me, but in a very good way. But Conway Twitty singing about whispering in a woman's ear, I mean, that's just being, I won't say
Yeah,
what I
for
was saying, but so this is to
people that
pay
are,
homage to these great pioneers of country music.
mhm.
And that's what it's about. It's not about demonizing the new country. They're doing that to themselves.
It's just about shining a spotlight on some great storytellers that time may have, I don't say time may have forgotten, but, people need to be reminded of
Yeah,
or
time
be
didn't forget them.
introduced
The
to.
country music industry did, I think.
Yes. I mean, even like I like the message of the gambler because a gambler is essentially someone who takes calculated risks. Um, you can't and you can't have life without risk. Anything worth acquiring is going to entail some sort of risk. So it's just about being smart about it. It's about being both bold and intelligent. And how is that a bad message? You know what I mean?
Well,
So
I'll add
um,
to that. I don't think anyone's ever changed our world profoundly and led it in a new direction or changed it in a positive way without gambling.
right.
No one ever done
Yeah,
it
nothing
standing in
worth
line.
acquiring ever comes easy. Agreed.
Nothing worth having is easy, and nothing
Yeah.
easy to get is worth having.
So, being a gambler doesn't mean, hey, go to a casino and throw your money away. It means, hey, don't be afraid to take a risk. Just be smart about how you do it.
The gambler,
So,
he broke
thank you,
even.
Kenny. Yep. Thank you, Kenny. Duly noted. Yeah. I mean, Kenny's a legend. Just again, I remember him. He's got a again. I remember him for his distinct look, the white hair, the white beard. I remember him from We Are the World. I think there are a couple. I think a couple duets
Islands
that he
in the
did.
stream, that is
Yes,
what
thank
we
you.
are.
There was a commercial that used to play for that
Dolly
incessantly.
Parton and
Because
Gene Rogers.
yeah, but yeah, Kenny's a legend. This this is a song he wrote, correct? This is so
Uh,
yeah.
I'm
The
not
dude,
sure, man. I would think so.
yeah,
I don't know that though.
but yeah,
And
this is a message that will you can transport it to any time and it will be true. It's the definition of a timeless song and a timeless story. So
and I venture to say that a lot of country songs I do not like because you hear them once and you get it, and it's like, well, damn, there's nothing else to get. But this type of country song, I think, is something that will stick with you forever because you heard it once. And you can listen to it all you want more, but it'll never leave. The impact it had on you will never leave.
right,
Message.
yeah.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Oh, sorry.
If I may add one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Two things.
Absolutely.
Number one, this is something that will pop in my head anytime I'm going down a highway with a friend and I get a chance to talk to someone who has some words of wisdom for me. This will pop into my head. And also, if I may, oh my God, Kenny killed this. So there's the reverse South Park.
Yeah, because they come with a really terrible meaning right at King Pass. And, oh my God, they killed Kenny. Is this too soon? I barely giggled and was like, yes, it's way too soon. I mean, I shouldn't even have giggled at that. But I've got the meme. I do, but I mean, fuck Carmen. Sorry. I'm not going to say the F word. You don't say that in country music. Even the Outlaws didn't. Unless you went and see them live. So mental health is real.
God bless Hank.
We advocate that here. Yeah, Hank has lost his daughter, wife lately. Never done nothing to country music. But anyway, so yeah, mental health is real, and I'm sure Hank is feeling it right now.
And hopefully, Denny will be throwing more of these classic songs for me to react to because, like I said, I'm startled. If you told again, among the many things Danny is perverting me in, never thought I'd ever be using a smartphone. Never thought I'd ever be on YouTube. Never thought I'd ever love old school country music. So thank you, my friend. Loving every minute of it.
Well, you're welcome. These are all things that were handed down to me, so they're not my own. They're not my own, but I'll be glad to share them with anyone. And sometimes I say things people like, but I'm very passionate about what I say, and I say what I mean what I say. I'm no different when I stop this recorder than I am when I'm talking to you. I'm dying actually, and this is literally a documentary of my life. And this is very important to me to get these great artists out there and to get the message out there to people who may not know it, that country is different. It's just different. Like when Barbara Mandrell, she was country when country was cool. That was the play on words. So yeah, love you all. And rest in peace, Kenny Rogers. Sorry. I put myself over you. Total eclipse of OGL. OGL, OGT, out. Oh shit.